in Dublin.
I was going Clontarf here. Well, Whitefields was the original. How I had that was I was going Clontarf here in Dublin. I was coming home on the bus one day, and I got off the bus and was walking up the road, and there was a doctor's waiting room, and in the glassway, in the doorway, I seen this old guy standing there, like with a hat on him, and just looked staring out the window into space. And I got these words into my head, you know, I once seen all sin and all man, and I had it stuck in my head. I was going to write a song out of it and continue on from there. And so I went on, had Whitefields, and but I once seen all man, you know, you know, we're all. And, you know, to me, that was the song. It was everything. There's no reason why to, you know, elongate it or turn into something. But it was just a particular image that stuck in my head. Just really key to myself. But like as you were saying, the business end now has finally come together when I realised who to send it to and how to do things properly and the right routes to go through. You know, and even though it's still an independent and small, that just getting my music accessible and getting to the radio stations and getting to the right people, it's all, you know, the right corridors. When before I knew nothing about it, you know.
But what about Room?
Room again was a friend of mine in Marino in Dublin, Vinnie Murphy. Went down to his house and we were going to do a bit of recording, and sitting in his house, and he was in bed, and his mother brought me in a cup of tea and she sat me in the room. And it was a real old Dublin house, and it was, you know the smell you get in a real old house, sort of that sort of smell. It was real old, like it throws you back right into the 30s, and there was a big clock on the wall, just tick tick. And the line came into my head, the clock that never went anywhere, just hung on the wall. And like I don't know exactly how I wrote it, but I remember when Vinny got up about 10 minutes later, I had the poem wrote down. And it was, and that day, you know, the next day I brought it home and I showed it to him. And I said, I wrote that in your house. And it was the original was called Vinny's Room. And then Vinny says, like, he just called it something simple, like, you know, clock. And I says, when I call it Room. So we done it, and the guy who was the original piano player, I wrote it in his house, you know. So the ambient, the whole sort of, really, I like Room because a lot of people have commented on that. It is piano, and it is sort of like piano and voice, but there is a smell about it, there is a texture, there is a mood, which, well, it is very Irish, but not Irish in, you know, traditional sense of, you know, the shamrocks and leprechauns type of stuff, you know.
You also have a song about the whale.
Well, just watching television one day, a documentary, I think it was The World About Us on BBC Two, and I just couldn't believe it. These ships, you know, pulling up beside a whale, and like just blown, sort of like these rockets inside it, and the guy explained it in detail that when the harpoon went inside, it explodes inside the whale and he's still dead. And I just couldn't believe it. I just thought, you know, a whale, that's just like somebody getting a fishing hook and sticking it into air flesh and actually being lifted up by, you know, the pain. Like, and imagine being like gagged. I thought to myself, a whale can't scream, or he does scream, but he's out of air frequency, like bats, you can't pick up their frequency. But I said, God, like if you could hear the scream and the pain that thing was gone through, you know. So I put it in the thing. Imagine getting somebody gagging, somebody blindfolded, and said the people who were actually doing it. Imagine if I came along and put a blindfold on them and, you know, gagged their mouth and, you know, lifted them up by, you know, a hook on their back. You know, what would it be like, the pain? Like, you couldn't describe it. So, like, that's how the whole thing came about. Yeah, well, it was just, what was the whale? I wonder, did they feel anything when they shoot the whale? I wonder if they can imagine the pain when it blows inside the bits. I wish they could, you know, hear the, like, sort of, you know, the fears, you know, the way animals can smell fear, and sort of, I sort of write things. I don't believe, like, I write words down, but I believe that the way I work, if I have a guitar, and originally the way it came about was if I go along and tape a guitar by somebody, I might like, you know, I have a tape and it's a half an hour long, and I might like a bit at the start and I like a bit at the end, and a bit at the start because it could be when he's tuning up the guitar, and a bit in the middle could be jazz, and a bit at the end could be rock. So I'll get the whole things and link them together and I'll bring it back to the guitarist and say, well, try and play this, and sometimes literally impossible because he's one down one end of the guitar and he has to go up to the top, but he bridges new gaps in between, sort of, and so like the words, like I don't believe like you have to, like the poems, tradition, as I walked along the country road and this type of stuff. To me, it doesn't affect me anymore. It doesn't mean anything anymore, Yet I had Yasmina, a girlfriend. She bought a magazine. On a magazine, she got a copy of a calendar, James Joyce calendar, and there was a caption of words, and very, very similar to me. And I could understand when people come along and say, "Stano, you must read James Joyce and you must read this person." And I say, "No," and they think I'm joking. But now it's sort of come true. But like I can honestly say, I've never read the guy. Not that I'm not interested in the guy. It's just that who wants to hear, someone, trying to read James Joyce and trying to write like him and going along and putting a music in the background. It's naff.
Well, do you have any Irish writers that you're fond of?
I like that Paul Brady song, another one, Going to London. We're nothing but a bunch of murderers. What's that? Hard Station, I think it's just like words like that. I like Microdisney, as far as I can say, are amazing. There's a couple of young Dublin bands around. I think there's a band called the Icon Trial. Live down the end of the road. They're not bad. There's a few.
Have you ever written anything about Northern Ireland?
No. I've the one like because I know everybody thinks Ireland, like in America and things like that. It's not our one. It's totally different. Like I've never seen anybody getting shot or a bomb going off or anything. I live in Dublin. When I was living in London, everybody thought it was going on, everywhere. But like, not that I am concerned about it, of course I am. But saying like, thing about it is a group like Stiff Little Fingers, they done it, they wrote about it, like there's no reason why you had a group like the Undertones coming out and they were in the thick of it and they were just a pure pop band, everybody's taste. But I am, like, of course I'm concerned about, like my own country and the world, and that's why I write about Wales. But I don't see why. Well, it's people like Andy White who do it perfectly and affected by it, and I could never write a song like Andy White, Or if I see something, like the reason I do write is I'm walking down the street and get an idea in my head, or I pick up a newspaper and this headline, but the thing about it is it always stays in my head for about 3 or 4 days, and it's still there in 3 days time. Then I know it's useful, and then I'll use it and start working on. But I don't go around and pick up a line and do this and do that. But that's why a lot of people think I write cut-ups and things like that. But it's not cut-ups, my work. It's just that if I see walking down the street and see a crash, like if I'm walking down the street next minute, I seen a car crash. It was a yellow car. I seen a body on the ground, and then I say it was Tuesday, and then I look up and say the sun was shining, and then I say I walked down the street, I seen a piece of paper on the ground, somebody tapped me on the shoulder, I got on the bus, and then I looked out the window, it was a river, and I seen trees. I mean, that's life, that's normal. But when you write that in the songs of context, and it's not, in traditional sense where it's A, B, C, D, E, I got up in the morning, I walked down the stairs, I picked up a fork, I done this, I done that. Like people say, you can't really make sense of it. Yeah, sort of like my music starting to come through to people where it is, the lyrics are there, they're about things like destruction. The lyrics are there, they're about things like destruction. On the second album now, that's about Dublin, destruction is in our hearts, it's everywhere. That's about where they're ripping down the old streets and putting up these monstrous buildings, which is crazy, and it's just horrible, like, especially along the quays now where I want to get a flat. What they should do is, like, all for bringing in new business into the country and into Ireland, but like just keep the fronts, keep the character of the buildings. Now he's going up and sticking up some plastic, front. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy.
You said like you spend the afternoons in the studio. Do you have your own studio?
No. I just work on tape recorders. I've got 2 tape recorders at home, and first of all, I just get the ideas, the songs, and sort of work out melodies, what I want to do, and then go along. Any guitarist or any piano player which I like, I'll go up and ask them, tell them who I am. Make arrangements to meet them, bring a tape recorder into the house, tape the bits and pieces of the piano, bring them back, and then like the following week or the next day when I go back to them, I have words and vocals put on. I say, right, this is I like this bit of melody you don't hear, I like that bit of melody here, this is what the song is about and this is the direction it's gone on. So we start building the song that way. So it could start from I put the piano down and then put drums to it, and then, you know, I work all different ways, you know. Well, to me, like, music is everything. Like, you can make music on a guitar, you can make it on a piano, you can bang things, like, that's why I probably sound like I do, because I can work at anything. I can work poems and words and just sing them and get my own tune, or if I get tape loops going, or I get you know, the sound of metal, I can sing on top of that. I can find melody in it and take it out. So but now sort of I'm starting to combine that element of getting noise and getting melody and getting you know, rhythms and my words and like making songs. Now I am sort of writing songs, but I'll never really sound like anybody because of the way I write, you know. Like really, I came into this business all by mistake, and the way I've never shown how to write poems. I've never shown how to write music, so I do it my way. Yeah, I'm still making songs, so it's just the way I build up things, the way I sound.
Destruction in the